Hello, this is the Radio Geek, and today for you I have the Supersonic 9-band radio with Bluetooth. A radio with Bluetooth. I don't know that this radio has a model number on it. Let's see. Oh, it's the SC-1080BT, I believe, is the model number. I got this off of Amazon for, I think, $15.50 or something like that, or about 16 bucks basically. And like I say, it does have Bluetooth, and it has AM and FM and shortwave, and it says shortwave 1 through 7. It does leave some interesting gaps in the shortwave band. Shortwave 1 goes from 4.75 to 5.06, and shortwave 2 continues from 5.6 to 6.4, and then 3 jumps to 6.8 and goes to 7.8. Then it jumps all the way from 7.8 to 11.5 to 12.2, then jumps from 12.2 to 13.4 to 14.2, then jumps all the way from 14.2 to 17.1, and the end of that band, which is shortwave number 6, is 18 megahertz. Then it jumps from 18 to 21.2, and then ends at 22 megahertz. The FM band is the standard 88 to 108, and the AM band goes all the way to 1710, it looks like. So yeah, 530 to 1710. So pretty full ranged there. So what do you get with your AM FM shortwave Bluetooth radio? Well, obviously you get the radio. Interesting thing about this radio, you can run off of 3 AA batteries or one of these cell phone type batteries. I've got regular AA's in there right now because you have to put this in the radio to charge it unless you have an external charger. They do give you the cable to plug into the radio to charge the internal battery. There's a little mini USB there on this side of the radio, and then the other end will plug into your charger. This is your volume control, your tuning on this side. On the top you have your MP3 functional buttons for fast forward or forward the track, stop and play, rewind or back a track, and then a band switcher, selection switch, I guess. It's off, and then the middle one is MP3/Bluetooth BT, and then radio on the other end. So it has a USB input here that you can put a little thumb drive with your MP3s on it, or it takes a micro SD or a TF card. Now the TF card, when you insert it, it does stick up a little bit, so it doesn't push all the way in. That's normal for this particular radio. Down here at the bottom of the radio you have your band selector switch, which will give you your choice between AM and FM and all of your shortwave bands that are listed here in the top part of the radio there. This side of the radio you have the wrist strap, and the back it's got a port here for maybe sound or ventilation, and then the battery cover, which I won't pop off because I'm afraid my batteries will fall out. But basically it's got an interesting design where you can either put in that rechargeable battery that I showed you earlier, or the 3 AAA's, and then you'd have your telescoping antenna up here at the top, which will go up all kind of almost over on that side, It does swivel, but only this far. You can't go forward with it because it hits the radio. So there is one thing that I've looked all over this radio for, and it's lacking, missing. Any guesses to what that might be? Yes, that's right. There is no headphone jack on this radio. I cannot believe there's no headphone jack on this radio. I mean, even the cheapest of cheap radios has a headphone jack. Now, whether or not they include headphones is another thing, but at least have a headphone jack. But I'm guessing since it has Bluetooth and people are probably going to use it as a Bluetooth speaker, they thought, well, nobody's going to need to listen, you know, with headphones. So I guess that is one thing that's lacking in this radio, unfortunately. It does come with this is the entire instruction manual, just one piece of paper on both sides, and it's got some very poor wording in the instructions. For instance, there's a section here for the Bluetooth, and it says number 1, when the equipment without inserting, open the power switch on the radio. Push the switch function to BT position. Current state of Bluetooth. A voice prompt at the time. Wait line for the pairing. Okay, that makes sense. Open the phone Bluetooth. Search Bluetooth devices. When the search is completed, the display of the equipment list, select BT03. So what does that mean in English? Well, basically the way this radio works is you have this position as either radio, Bluetooth, or off. If you do not have a micro SD card installed or a USB with some files on it, when you put it in that middle position, it will be in Bluetooth mode. However, if you have the card in there and you put it in the middle position, it automatically starts reading the card or the USB and playing whatever files are on there. So I have a suspicion that's why that card probably sticks up a little bit, is because you're going to notice that it's there and you say, oh, that's why the Bluetooth isn't working, because I have a card installed. But yeah, just another little weirdness about the radio. It does have some kind of unique things, but yeah, that manual is it's kind of gives you a few little hints, but you'll just have to play with it to get it to work, I guess. So I guess we'll start off by let's just see if we can get the Bluetooth here to work. Well, we don't have any cards installed, so we'll put it in the middle position.
Waiting for the pairing. Bluetooth pairing success.
Okay, so it's already paired with my phone, and that was pretty straightforward and easy to do. You just turn it on and look for it on your phone, and that's basically all you really had to do. Let's see, I will open up an app here. Let's see, I'll try the Zoomer Radio app, see if that'll work. Well, there you go, it's streaming Bluetooth and the little blue lights blinking. Now there's no microphone in the radio, so you can't you know, answer your phone with it or anything like that, but it will strictly be a Bluetooth speaker, and then just, you know, anything on your device that's transmitting Bluetooth, it will be able to play. You know, I've got a you know, a number of different apps on here that could be selected. I can pick a scanner program that I have that's radio scanners that you can pick from.
562 Charlie. 562 Adam, I believe she went to Roseland. If somebody can reach out to her for me.
62 Charlie.
Gotcha. 10-4-562 Charlie. 564 Adam.
So yeah, that's basically a police scanner app that I have on the phone. So you can see the Bluetooth works. It works pretty good. The speaker doesn't sound too bad. It sounds pretty decent. So I could see you using that to play some music and whatnot. We'll just go ahead and I'll do the I guess the radio here next. Get it on radio and we'll just we'll put it on FM here first. We'll get the antenna raised.
They enjoy Johnsonville flame grilled sausage for dinner. You know? But sometimes it hurts instead.
As no moral sentiment is. They help design a customized insurance solution that gets the job done right, just like me.
An actor trying to sound like a plumber. Excruciating.
Inside DeVos Place in Grand Rapids, this Friday through Sunday only.
Speaking of time, 30.
OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heart.
After a long day, you need some blowing out the TV and surround sound.
Anything.
24/4.
Just said, yeah, what are you gonna do? And the one.
You finally fly away. I'll be hoping that
It's got a pretty good sound for a small radio.
It is so horrifying, and that's.
oh, I wanna go.
So okay, that was pretty much, we'll say that was the FM. What is a quick scan here on, I guess, medium wave, I think.
But me going to see a superhero movie.
Paragraph, he said, Gary, I've listened to you for years. Years ago, I was moderate.
The dial on this thing is off quite a bit.
And then said a couple more
Well,
sentences, and then he said,
enough that you can tell it's off.
That's fine. That trip, northbound, take fast 63rd to Ogden, 53 southbound Jane Addams, to before Higgins, and I...
Two and nothing. The crowd. Gregorius at second, one out. It is 4-0. The Red Sox in an elimination game. The Red Sox need to win. Or the Red Sox need to win.
There's a hopper over in the it can be confusing. You can get objective help to find a plan.
Seems like it's a DSP style radio.
More choices like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage, and the freedom to see Jack Phillips just bake the cake and things like that. Don't recognize that for Jack, this is about a biblical view of marriage. Let me just tell you about this. They're great blinds. The one you picked are great. And have the
Twice. And they were a little bit off, so it's kind of like an echo. So that's actually.
It's really worked.
Nothing can compare with the benefits of balance of nature.
So yeah, it does pretty good. I mean, not too bad for an inexpensive radio. it picks up all the locals no problem, and it picks up some DX. You know, I'm here in Michigan. I can, you know, get Cincinnati, Zoomer Radio, Chicago stations, Minneapolis, St. Louis, all the big ones, the big more powerful ones it can get. It's a little tedious to try to get a weak station, I think, because it's a DSP style tuner that it wants to lock onto the strong station and just kind of ignore the weaker stuff. Let's see, for bands here on the shortwave, it's at night, it's about 9 o'clock. So we'll try, let's try something on shortwave 3, that's between 6.8 and 7.6 megahertz, I think. So that's shortwave 3. It's kind of tricky, you gotta kind of move it slow. Surprised I'm not picking anything up here. Let's try another band here. I'm moving too fast, perhaps. Let me see what band I'm on. That's the other thing, is the band selector switch is kind of hard to tell where you're at, unfortunately. Oh, I see. I was reading it backwards. I wasn't where I thought I was, so let me get it where I want to be now. Okay, now we're on shortwave 2. I was way on the other end, so.
Actions based upon belief sustained by confidence. When the confidence is there, the confidence says, my God can do anything. The confidence says, my God will.
It's actually doing pretty good. Spanish, Catholic maybe? Now this is just with the whip, and the whip antenna is probably like 13 or 14 inches long. Not very big. Probably hooking up some wire antenna to it. 20 feet of wire would probably improve it quite a bit. So yeah, that was, let me see where I am here. Yeah, that was 6.4 to 6.8 megahertz. And we just scanned there. I think. No, I take that back. That was 5.8 to 6.4. It's kind of weird to get used to, because on the dial here it goes from high frequency to low, and then down here the selector switch is backwards. It's the lower shortwave 1, 2, and 3 and so forth are on this side, and 7 is on that side, so it's kind of flipped around there. Yeah, you can go past the station pretty easily.
In the middle of the night, when a mob of more than 200 police, local officials, and community members broke through the gates of the Bible school, the attackers turned on the pastors, teachers, and students who were sleeping there on June 9th.
More than 20 people were injured, including the school's founder, Pastor Quang. Pastor Quang suffered injuries to his head and chest during the attack. As an outspoken Christian leader in the area, he's faced much persecution in the past, including watching a previously school building be demolished by authorities. He's also been arrested many times.
Though the incident is the latest in an ongoing battle against them, the pastors, teachers, and...
Increíble, esa vez vos, si mandas a tocar, no lo haces tan perfectamente. Son bandas con fuerte, güey. Sí, bueno, la época de la Francisco Hernández, el Viareño, ahí consiguió.
Thank you for listening to World Harvest Radio. The ministries that broadcast on this station need to hear from you. If you missed the broadcast of your favorite program, you can write us here at World Harvest Radio. P.O. Box 12, South Bend, Indiana, 46624 in the USA. That's P.O. Box 12, South Bend, Indiana, 46624, USA. It's your letter that keeps your favorite program on the air. You can also email us at whr@lac.com.
Coming to you from historic Studio B in South Bend, Indiana, welcome.
Why wouldn't we have a president who said, oh yeah, I took the...
And I wouldn't be Shortwave Radio without finding Brother Stare somewhere on the radio. But anyway. So yeah, if you're patient and you scan around, you can certainly find shortwave stations to listen to, and FM sounds pretty good on this little radio, and the Bluetooth feature is kind of interesting as well. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a pretty nice little radio. Let's let me get a micro SD card installed in there, and we'll show you how that works. So just a minute on that. Okay, now we've got the little micro SD card installed, and you can see it sticks out just a little bit there. The little Gold's contacts face U as you put the card in, and then it only goes in that far. It doesn't click or anything in place, it just slides in there. So now when we put the switch in the MP3 Bluetooth position, it'll just start playing what's on that card. It just totally disregards anything Bluetooth unless there's no card in there.
Music.
The Jello program.
It said music right before it started playing.
California, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours.
So if you want to go to the next track, you would hit this button over here. Wow. Another Jack Benny.
The Jello program.
Got a few of those.
Nabisco, Nabisco is the name to know. For a breakfast you can't beat. Eat Nabisco, shredded wheat. Keen eyes fixed on a flying target. Nabisco, Nabisco.
Countdown for blast off.
And then you can just hold the button and it will fast forward it.
Get a look at him. Faulkner. Yes, sir?
And this is the
Keep an eye on it.
backwards track or rewind. You hold it to rewind.
What good can they do us? They don't get the play.
Or you go back a track.
Maybe they...
Nabisco, Nabisco is the name to know. For a
And middle one pauses it and continue.
breakfast you can't beat. Eat Nabisco, shredded wheat.
So I think if I turn it off and I come back to it later, it will continue where it left off, which is great for old time radio shows.
Music.
Yeah.
Nabisco, Nabisco is the name to know. For a breakfast you can't beat.
So now if I take the card out and put it in that middle position, the Bluetooth MP3, it should default to Bluetooth.
Waiting for the pairing. Bluetooth pairing success.
So now it's paired with the phone again. So that's pretty much it. It's got lots of features. Like I say, it's about 16 bucks on Amazon. Not the best AM/FM shortwave radio in the world, but not too bad. I think the FM sounds pretty good, and the speaker sounds good as far as it being a Bluetooth speaker. The AM isn't too bad. You get your big guns basically on that. At night, it's not too bad. You get some relatively strong DX stations. Shortwave, you just kind of have to play with it and move the dial kind of slowly, and it will pick some things up. Like I say, with this short antenna, maybe 13, 14 inches long, it's not gonna be too super, but you can hook a 20-foot piece of wire to it, and it'll probably boost things up quite a bit. The only thing is there's no headphone, which is just I don't understand. I mean that even the cheapest of cheap radios has a headphone. Oh, it does have a plastic protector dealie on the front. I thought that looked a little frosted. If I could get a hold of it. Yeah, so pull that off. Yeah, I'll clean that up later, but that definitely will make it, the screen or the display, look a little easier to read. And in that, like I say, the only other thing is the selector switch. There's just it's got all these like little grooves in it, and there's like one that's a little wider than the others, and that's where you are. Maybe if you took a little bit of some paint, fingernail polish or something, and put a little dot or colored that in, it would be easier to tell where you are. And like I say, the the shortwave band selector switch is, the low end is over here, and then high end is over here, low and then high. And the band on the radio goes the other way, where the low is at this end and the high one's at that end. So it kind of plays with you a little bit. But all in all, I'd say it's a nice little radio. I would say if you don't really care about the Bluetooth or the MP3 function of it, and this being in the $16 range, I would say if that's not important to you and you'd rather have a better radio, I'd get the Texan 9012. That's a much better receiver than this, but it does not have Bluetooth or the MP3 player. So with that, thanks for hanging out and checking it out with me, and until next time, this is the Radio Geek.